Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Bryan with another Best of 2017 video. Today we're going to focus on budget knives. These are my top 5-ish. It was supposed to be a top 5. It's a little more than 5. Sorry. Top 5-ish budget knives of 2017. I know there's been a lot of top whatevers of 2017 knife videos out there, but I'm watching all of them. I think you are too. I don't think you're going to mind one more on New Year's Eve. I think you're going to be okay with it. And I got some really cool stuff to show you, and I'm very excited to show these to you. So let's just get to it. What do I define as a budget knife? These are all under 50 bucks, mostly under 40. Even the one that is currently above 40, you can find it for 40 if you search around a lot. So we're going to call it under 50, but it's really more like under $40 is kind of what my limit is here. And they're all knives that came out in 2017. I don't have any old school stuff I drug out. This is all stuff that actually came out this year. So let's just get right to it. Let's start right off. Unsurprisingly, the first knife on the list is a Kershaw, because Kershaw does great budget stuff. This is the Kershaw Skyline XL. This is a larger version of the Skyline. It has a bigger blade. It's generally 20% overall larger than the Skyline. The Skyline is a great knife. Everybody loves it. And Blade HQ decided to make a bigger one. Now, the regular Skyline, ironically, the smaller one would not fit in this list because it's too expensive, but this fits in because it's cheaper. Why is it cheaper? That's the only disappointing thing about it. The regular Skyline is made in the USA with Sandvik steel. This is made in China with 8CR 13 MOV, which is not terribly exciting, but it's cool. And I love the feel of it. I love the size of it. I like big knives. I think this is really great. And for 40 bucks, $39.95, if you want to be precise, that's pretty cool. And I really like that Blade HQ did this. They do a lot of exclusive with colors and stuff, but I don't remember them very often doing one that's just, hey, can you just make that bigger? So I did a full review of this. I'll link to it down below. Super cool knife, though. Definitely deserving of being on the list. Now, that's number 5, we're going to call it. Number 4 is the Real Steel H5 Gerfalcon. I've talked about this before. I did one comparison video with it. I did a full review of it. I'll link to those down below. I love this thing. It's super cool. Stainless steel frame lock with linerless G10 on one side. Sandvik steel, you're going to see more of that as we come along. Sandvik steel, I think, is the best budget steel. It's amazing. But I just love the detail they put in this, and I didn't drag out boxes for all these, but this has really great packaging and stuff too. It makes you feel like you bought something special. And you know, the little stuff like the G10 on the it's a thumb stud or a flipper, and they put a little bit of G10 on the flipper. It comes in other colors, and whatever color you get, that G10 matches. That's just so cool. Lots of little touches on this knife that make it feel so much more expensive. You have a tubed lanyard hole, deep carry pocket clip. This is just a great knife. This one is pushing the bounds of budget. Currently, Blade HQ has it listed at $47.95, but I have seen it lots of other places on eBay and stuff like that for around 40 or a bit under. So I'm gonna give it a waiver on this one and put it in. I was gonna make this under 40, but we're gonna give this one a waiver and make it under 40, because if you search around, you can find it for under 40. But great knife. I really love the shape of the blade and everything. It feels pretty heavy duty. H5 Gerfalcon really impressed me this year. Next up, we have the we're going to make sure I got the right one up here on my notes. We have another Kershaw. Not a surprise. This is the Kershaw El Mar AM4. I reviewed this, and then I'll admit I haven't been carrying it a whole lot because I haven't had a need for a gentleman's knife, but I do like gentlemanly knives, and I really like this one. And I let my son go through my knife collection of stuff that was reasonably priced to get him for a stocking stuffer, and he chose this one, and I bought him another one. He has his own. This one's mine. I did not give him mine because I like it that much. Very cool knife. It is a collaborative design between Kershaw and El Mar. It is a speed-safe assisted knife. I don't like assists, but I've said before here that one of the only assist that I do like is the Kershaw Speed Safe. It's just the right, it's just enough assist without being crazy. You can still close it with one hand. Super classy looking. Kind of wish I hadn't gotten the black blade. I kind of wish I'd have just gotten the satin. But other than that, I love this thing. So cool. Very, I think as I said in the review, Count Dooku looking with the little red accents and the black, and it's super smooth. It feels really expensive, guys. And why it made this high of the list, why it's number 3 on the list, is because it did its job. Because a lot of times I think if you're, El Mar makes their own knives that are much more expensive. They're like $150, I want to say, and I think maybe even more than that. But I think when El Mar did this, he thought, well, hey, maybe this will inspire people to go buy a real one. And it's worked. I've been shopping in the secondary market for an El Mar Ultralight because I like this so much. So I'm like, man, I kind of want to try a real one now. So I'm not going to pay full price for one because I have this. But I am shopping around in the secondary market. So if anybody sees one pop up, let me know in the comments, because I am very interested in owning an El Mar Ultralight. So great, cool knife. Kershaw does such a good job with their collaborations. They don't really blast the fact that it's Kershaw. This one says Kershaw Speed Safe up there, but all the other logos are all El Mar. Really cool. Really like this knife. Awesome gentleman's folder. Now the next two are a tie, and primarily because of the fact that I have not had them for very long, but they both blew me away so much that I had to put them on the list, and I put them together because I don't have a lot of experience on this, if that makes any sense. And I put them at number 2 because they're both this awesome. So this is a tie for 2. First tie for 2, I just got this 2 days ago. This is the new Tagrum Santa Fe from Kaiser. Kaiser makes the Kaisers that are pretty pricey. They make the Vanguards that are a little less expensive. Now they make an even cheaper line of knives, and this is one of those. They're not available many places yet, pretty much just on Amazon, but man, this thing is great. And talk about packaging. The packaging on this thing is amazing. You'll see it when I do the full review. Coolest packaging I've ever gotten a knife in. It's so awesome. There's even like a little art project in the package. It's super cool, all the stuff they do with this. But this is a $30 knife, guys. $30. Oh, by the way, I didn't say the price of this. This is also about $30, the El Mar. So $30 for this thing. Ball bearing flipper, ball bearing thumb stud. Deployment is amazing. I love the blade shape. I love the overall look of it. The quality is great. The blade centering's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Deep carry pocket clip, actual G10 with very good texturing, and the blade steel is the JPN Akuto, the Japanese version of 440C, basically. So what they did, if I'm understanding right, is they added a bit more carbon to improve the edge retention. And again, I've only had this a couple days, but I've been trying to use it and trying to dull the blade a little bit, and it's holding the edge really well. So I do buy that it does seem to hold the edge better than 440C. So super nice design. I just like it. It's simple. It's not flashy. It's very boxy and square, when you look at it. But I really like it. It's pretty cool. Lots of beveled edges on the G10 and stuff. So many details on this that you would never expect on a $30 knife. It just blows me away. The only other cheap knife this year, or inexpensive knife, value knife that I have used this year that's blown me away as much is the one that is also tied for second. And unfortunately, I've only had this one about a week, so I still can't put it higher up. This is the Rake P801, and yes, it is Rake. I know people always argue about Reek. I called the company. I actually called them on, I think, Christmas Eve or Christmas holiday. It wasn't. I didn't talk to a person, and I knew I was going to get a voicemail, but the voicemail said Rake, so I'm going to go with Rake. Rake P801SF, another $30 knife, and I cannot fathom how this is a $30 knife. I honestly don't understand it. Again, ball bearing flipper, stainless steel frame lock, fairly lightweight, not crazy light, but fairly light, super good gentlemanly look. I love the look of it. It's got these nice little blue accents. Again, the packaging is good. A lot of these cheap knives, man, knock it out of the park with the packaging. They make you think you're buying something much more expensive, and I'm probably just falling for their little marketing techniques, but I like it. It's cool. The blade shape is just what I would draw for a blade, probably. That's exactly the kind of blade that I get a ton of use out of. And it's Sandvik steel, 14C28N. So awesome steel for $30. Quality is good. Yeah, this thing is awesome, and I can't wait to get more rakes in. I really can't. I may spend way too much money on rakes. These things are great. $30. Both of these knives, it's unfathomable to me that they are $30, but they are. So those both are at number 2. Only supplanted by, now this is going to go, my big drum roll, big award, best budget knife of 2017 actually goes to 5 knives, because they're all the same line and they're all the same similar philosophy. I have 2 representations of the 5 here, but they go to the Cold Steel Chinese D2 knives. These things are awesome with the FRN handles. So, little background, Cold Steel makes all their knives in either G10 handles with M390 blades made in Italy, or they make these FRN versions with the D2 blades made in China. They all came out this year. They're all super cool. What we have to represent the 2, we have a Cut Jack Mini and a Modus. Now, this also comes, this is the 3-inch blade version. In the Mini, they make a 3.5. This is a 3.25-inch blade. But they make both of them in China in kind of the same way. Multiple colors, all kinds of cool stuff. Multiple different color back spacers and things like that. They make them in lots of cool, snazzy color combinations. They retail, or their street price is about $40. D2 steel, can't complain about it. They all run on phosphor bronze washers. They work great. The only complaint I have about them, I only have these 2. I haven't played with any other ones, but this one worked awesome out of the Modus, worked awesome out of the box. The action was a bit disappointing for a while. I had to take it off and polish one of the washers, and then now it's good. Now it's what I expected it to be. So, and I had to break it in for a while too. So it took a while to get this one to be what I expected. But this one was great out of the box. So there was one little quality issue, but they're new and they're just getting into it. And for $40 for D2 steel, and the FRN just looks great on them. And it's a steel will, it's a cool knife. And the ergonomics, the steel will's ergonomics are so good, both of them. The Cut Jack is just fantastic for a knife this size, and the Modus is pretty damn good, for a 3.25-inch blade. And I love the sheep's foot style blade and stuff on it. Steel will is knocking it out of the park lately. So that's my number 1. My number 1 best budget knife of 2017 goes to the entire FRN D2 steel will line. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. Look me up on Instagram, SliceyDicey75. Check me out on Patreon. I'm going to do another live video, probably announcement about it, but I did put some goals on Patreon now, so you actually are going to get something if you donate some money. So, check that out. You got to keep things going. The budget's starting. I had a budget to get this channel going, and I'm very happy with how it's going, but it's starting to run a bit low, so I got to start getting some more kicked in if you want to keep videos coming out. They're not going to come out at this rate. I've been doing like 1 a day for a while. That's not going to keep up. We're going to slow it down to like 1 every 3 days. But yeah, kick in a few shekels if you want to see some more cool knives. I don't get most of these for free. I have to buy a lot of them. So anyway, I got off into begging. That was weird. I apologize about that. But let's get back to the point. Steel will, you're awesome. Great job. Have a good one, everybody.